Be chairing the meeting tonight with Richard's help if I need it. Richard? All right. Has everybody read the agenda?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. No objections to it as it is?
Oh, we have additions.
Oh, yes. Right. First of all, we have we'll be talking about a region's director position that is open right now. Is Steve here?
Come on. No.
Yeah, he's not here yet.
We
Okay.
know for sure he's coming.
Jay said
You said he was. All right. We also have a fundraising director position that is open, and Matthew wanted to throw his hat in the ring. Is Matthew? There he is. Okay. Forgive me, guys. I can't see everybody yet. All right. Good. What else did you want to throw out there?
Didn't you have a couple of things on that? Hold on. What did you have? Well, Marie wanted added the 420 games.
Have you guys all been keeping up with her emails on the 420 games?
Yeah. I looked at that.
And she wanted added to the agenda some additional outreach supplies. She sent an email. I'm not like telepathing with her right now. She sent an email. I'm like, yeah, Marie, oh, okay. Yeah, she sent an email on those two things she wanted added to the agenda.
Okay, without objection, we'll go ahead and add those. Any objections? We have some guests here, and forgive me, I don't know everybody here, except Frank, of course, he's always here. If you guys, all you folks that are not on the board, if you can introduce yourself, tell us why you're here, and I'll give you 2 minutes each. Go ahead, start us off, Frank.
I'm Frank Capwood, I'm your liaison. I'm also I'm your liaison to Center Right Coalition, and Mike Krause here knows me. Ken Weibel joined me this morning. The reason I'm both your liaison to Center Right Coalition and your advocate for approval voting. When we have time, I'd like you to look at this to see how it flip-flopped between conventional voting. Newt Gingrich came in first and Ben Carson came in fourth. With approval voting, Ben Carson came in first and Newt Gingrich slipped fourth. And just to discuss what that would imply to a minor party context, and if approval voting in your mind's worth continuing to pursue, or if you think this is a poison pill we should be avoiding. I think it's still good, but I briefly listen to others. Thank you very much for the time.
Okay, thank you, Frank.
Hello, everyone. My name is George Selgate, and my very first time coming to the Libertarian board meeting. I've been a Libertarian since 2014, very beginning of 2014. Interested in learning a lot about the party. Been in communication with Richard and Jay, and want to throw my hat in for the region's director position. I'd be honored to kind of give you guys a little bit of my background. I know 2 minutes might not be enough for that, but I do have a lot of operational experience as well as my recent MBA towards strategies.
Would you spell your name for me, please?
Yes. Last name is Zoggaib.
Very intergalactic.
Lebanese.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I know most everyone here. My name is Matthew Hess, former gubernatorial candidate in 2014. Jay North asked me to be here today to proxy for him and cast any tie-breaking votes.
Okay.
Hey everyone, Rich Anderson. It's been a while, so just want to swing by and kind of listen and probably give some interjection on the amazing thing called sine waves that I don't know how that took off all of a sudden, but I'll save my thoughts for the outreach section.
Okay.
My name's Nathan Grego. I'm the former state chairman of the party, and I'm a fundraiser on the Gary Johnson campaign.
Okay.
Just brief introduction.
Yeah. Please stand up so we can hear you too.
I'm Andrew Lundquist. I'm just kind of curious about like the party and like just looking for information on a libertarian by philosophy. So I'm wondering if I should get involved or not.
Can I ask you a question? How'd you hear about the meeting?
I registered as libertarian using like the Facebook page, and then I signed up on the libertarian website, like the national website, and started filtering down toward the Colorado specific stuff.
So did you get an email notification? Or I'm just kind of curious as to how the information's getting out.
No, just looking around the website,
Okay.
seeing like how to get involved, and then it showed like a schedule for Colorado stuff.
All right, thank you.
Hi, my name is Pradeep. I'm not a US national, and I'm just from 8,000 miles away, but I am influenced by the philosophy that this party kind of inculcates and preaches. So I'm just here to listen.
Could I have your name, please?
Pradeep,
How do you spell that?
Prateek.
Okay.
I'm Matthew Gianardo. I came here looking to run for your fundraising director. I'm doing that because money is what makes the world go round, and without it, we are up the old creek without a paddle. And I believe that is a very important position I would take very seriously and try to bring some new and different ideas and ways that we can engage people while also raising money for our city.
I'm Bruce Griffith. I'm the current candidate for Congressional District 4 in Eastern Colorado. Libertarian candidate.
Yes.
You know, I was about to like,
Yeah, I knew you were
switch.
gonna say
You
that.
saw me going.
My name is David Atkin, and I'm a former state chair and activist.
David does all of our websites to, anything that's gone very well on the website is his responsibility, anything that's gone badly is mine.
Can we give Mike more than 2 minutes because he's proposing something? Who do we have next?
Mike Krause. Hi, I'm the Director of Public Affairs here at Independence Institute, and I was in there making the same pitch to the Colorado Union taxpayers, and I want to come out and I want to make it to you very quickly because we would like the LPCO, Libertarian Party, yes, Libertarian Party of Colorado to sign on their name to our coalition to oppose Amendment 71, the raise the bar measure. The Colorado Common Cause and the Independence Institute are teaming up to oppose this, and we're putting together a left-right odd bedfellows coalition. Let me give you the quick and dirty on why we are so opposed to this measure. It polls better with Republicans than it does with Democrats because they say they want to protect our Constitution, and it's very appealing to very few people who might be on the conservative side. But the fact of the matter is, raise the bar, Amendment 71 would require that you get 2% of your signatures to put a measure on the ballot to amend the Constitution from every Senate district, each 35 Senate districts, and raise the threshold from 50% plus 1 to 55% plus 1 to pass the measure. It sounds very innocuous, and we concede that amending the Constitution should probably be a higher bar than passing a statutory change. They're the same right now. But our solution is actually to lower the bar for citizens to pass statutory changes and leave the Constitution where it is. Here's what's going to happen. If this passes, the citizens initiative process will be only accessible to those with millions of dollars to spend, millions of dollars. So it will make it available only to the most deep-pocketed special interests. Jared Polis can still run anti-fracking measures if he wants to. Tom Steyer can still run environmental measures if he wants to. The Koch brothers can come to town and run a measure if they wanted to. The finance reports show that Raise the Bar spent either $700 or $900 million just on their $700,000, $900,000 just on their signatures And they still didn't get 2% from each Senate district. They got some from each Senate district.
Okay, Mike, your time is up, but I move that we give them another 3 minutes. Any objections here?
No. All right, excellent. Thank you very much. So there's a second part of this that says that right now, that for the legislature to refer a constitutional amendment to the ballot, they need 2/3. Well, this lowers that to 55%, just like, so it actually lowers the bar for the legislature to refer constitutional amendments. This is an elitist establishment takeover of the initiative process, make no mistake about it. This is the same group that put the 10-year Tabor timeout on the ballot and pulled it because they saw it was going to fail miserably. It's currently polling under 50%. Republicans favor raising the bar more so than Democrats. It's kind of an interesting fallout. But we find that when we explain it to a Republican, like I just explained it to you, they go, "Oh, I did not know that. This thing sucks." Here's why we're doing this. If this passes, every judicial and legislative weakening of the Taxpayer Bill of Rights over the last 25 years is locked in permanently. An organization like the Independence Institute here will never be able to run a constitutional amendment to strengthen Tabor, prop up Tabor, add to Tabor, because we'll never be able to afford it. The idea of spending $900,000 on signatures boggles our minds because we put measures on the ballot and we haven't even come close to spending even half of that. So what we are asking for, we are putting together a coalition. We'd like to ask to be able to use the Libertarian Party of Colorado's name as a member of the coalition.
I move that we pass a resolution to allow them to use our name.
Second.
Point of information, we had a committee meeting last week on these, and I think something else has already been passed. So.
But certainly not supporting it.
Well.
I can, as chair of that committee, I can partially address that. It was split. We're going to issue a
Minority.
support viewpoint and a minority report on opposed.
Yes.
Because your motion is inappropriate, you withdraw it.
No, it's on the table. It's appropriate. The board can do it
Well,
despite
we
what
have
the
to do
committee
it,
does.
well, we have to do, we empowered that committee, we'd have to do a motion to
We
rescind.
empower the committee to say whatever they want.
just recommends.
Yeah,
Okay.
the board does the action, so.
It would be a motion to suspend the rules and for the specific purpose
no-
of
we don't need-
voting.
We don't need to
To-
suspend it.
Okay.
Regular motion.
Because this is new business, I figured it was going forward, yes, so you wouldn't need to suspend the rules.
Yes, apologies. I caught you guys coming out and cutting.
Would you like me
Great
to add this to new business?
I'd rather just do it now, but we could add it to my business.
Mike will need to leave at 7:30.
Why don't we address this now? So I move that we suspend the rules and address this now. We already have a position to put forth a resolution and a second, which we don't need in a small board here. But does anybody have any objections to further discussion on this?
Well, I don't object to the motion, but I feel so strongly about it, I want to speak in favor of it, because at that committee meeting, I had a strong opinion, I'd like to get it on the record before the board, is my opinion at the committee meeting is that we should never, as the Libertarian Party, make things more difficult to get before the people. So we should never be supporting something that makes something more difficult. It's going to come back to bite us in the ass. So I'm with you.
That's official.
We call it the rich guy protection measure.
Anybody else have anything to say?
I believe we then need a motion, since we have agreed to suspend the rules, we now need a motion to, and I would propose a motion, to allow the Independence Institute the use of the Libertarian Party of Colorado's name for the express purpose of defeating the amendment.
Point of information, why would you need to answer that?
Well, I guess we are hoping to set out our first press release when the issue committee is formed, and I have 6 or 7 organizations that we can add to the list. So I'm hoping to send it out like first of next week.
Because my discomfort is that our state chair is not here, and I think
He is, right there.
it's a
Proxy, same thing. Motions and votes.
It's Matt Hess.
How should this be?
Well, we're way over on time right now.
Yeah.
There's a motion. on it.
So, yeah, we have voted.
There's a motion.
If there's no further discussion, we automatically move into voting on the question.
Okay. All right, those are in favor. Well, let's put it back on the table.
Can you repeat the motion? Yeah.
Amendment 71.
I move that the Libertarian Party allow the Independence Institute the usage of the Libertarian Party of Colorado's name for the express purpose of defeating Amendment 71.
So I would go to a roll call vote.
Second.
It's not needed on small.
No,
committee.
Yeah. I'd like to amend that, that we move this to a email decision, that we all have more time to think about this. You get Jay's vote. But on this one here, you don't. Unless you've had this discussion with Jay before.
Jay supports the advancement of the Libertarian Party of Colorado, and advertising that Independence Institute does advances the Libertarian Party of Colorado.
I guess I'm saying.
With all due respect, I was at that meeting though, and I heard his opinion on this, and he was in opposition to what I was saying.
Really?
He's
I would, for discussion purposes, I know the way that we went through and used the analysis on it, but I would like to offer an amendment to kick it back to the ballot initiatives committee to readdress that particular ballot initiative.
But can the ballot initiative committee meet in the time frame that he needs?
I think we can do it, if we have to, we can do it conference call. So.
Okay, Wayne's amendment failed.
Yeah, your amendment
is not related to the main motion. That would kind of be, if the main motion fails, we could do that.
Right.
Your amendment to do it by email ballot instead within the next week, I think that would be in order. So I think we should probably vote on that and then go to the main motion again.
Okay. So what's in front of us right now is we're voting on whether we want to extend this out for decision for another week and resolve it through an email vote. Those who say aye? Or should we do a roll call?
Since it's an amendment, we don't, well.
Yeah, as long as it's without objection.
Yeah, any objections?
Yes, I object.
Yes, I object. Okay. We'll do a roll call vote.
All those in favor?
We're doing a roll call.
We're doing a roll call.
Roll call.
You're
Yes,
for
Matt.
Jay. Okay.
Are you for the amendment that says do it on?
Okay.
I am for.
Okay.
I am actually not. I've changed my mind.
Okay.
John is not here. Is anybody? Nobody's acting as John's proxy.
But John is online.
Is John here?
John, you should be able to speak if you unmute yourself. If you muted yourself.
Yes, I am here. Yes, I am here.
Hey.
Your vote?
Do you have to vote?
I can hear.
I vote yes.
Yes. Yes.
That was a yes? Okay. Campaigns?
Abstain.
Marie, is she online with us?
No.
Regions?
There's no reason.
No reasons.
You get 2 votes.
Legislative?
No.
Membership?
No.
Communications?
No.
Records?
No.
Okay. That fails.
No.
Now we are,
So now we're on the main one.
Main
now we're
motion,
back on the main motion.
which is do we allow the Independence Institute to use our name to oppose this, basically?
It might be constructive to add Colorado Common Cause to the partnership between organizations.
All right.
One of your places we can do.
Any objections?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. Matt?
Yes.
Okay. That's a no for me. John, can you hear?
I vote yes.
I vote yes. Okay. Legislative?
No.
Membership?
Yes.
Yes. Communications?
Yes.
Records?
Yes. Looks like it's 5-3. Passes.
So that carries.
Thanks all.
Thank you.
Enjoy your night.
All right. Has everybody, excuse me, Mike.
Point of order on that. Since that motion did pass, the committee is going to have to meet again to rewrite our opinion on that.
Why? You can have an opinion that doesn't match.
It's going to be the official, what we're going to be putting out online and through email is going to be the official.
They're writing a report.
Oh, okay. The official position of the Libertarian Party of Colorado. So we'll have to meet to refine our position before we publicly put that out.
Are you going to schedule that, Mike?
Yes. I'll email those on the committee.
Okay. All right.
Did we have everybody public comment finish? Or we still?
Yes, we're done.
Yep, we're good with
What about this guy?
Oh, Steve, you want to introduce yourself to everybody here? Can you tell us why you're here?
Steve Watt, Libertarian activist. Well, whenever you guys get around to discussing the open board positions.
All right, very good. All right, officer reports. I'm not even going to ask Jay. I have nothing to add to, well, I do actually have a couple things to add. My participation in both the platform as well as the bylaw committee was not in my report, should have been. My apologies. Nothing else to add. John, are you able to talk to us now about your report? Is there anything you want to add?
You know, I'm really not prepared beyond the report. Did you hear me all right?
He said he had nothing to add.
Sounded like.
Okay, thank you, John. Mike, anything to add?
Yes, I just wanted to add that the ballot initiative committee did meet last Friday night. We went through and analyzed each one of the ballot initiatives using some tools from the Principles of Liberty, Colorado. That's what helped determine our opinions. We discussed and voted on each one, and we are in the process of writing the opinions on support or oppose for each one of the ballot initiatives, with the exception of Amendment 71, that one will be readdressed.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Mike's got something. Recognize.
What do you think? You recognize, go ahead.
With this morning's center-right coalition meeting, there was also a discussion of amendment number 143, which is a triple tax increase on tobacco. And there's a group by the name of No Blank Checks in the Constitution, No on Initiative 143, that is wanting to additional organizations to join them. Can I pass? I'll pass this on. Wait,
Point of information, would this be a new business item where we're asking to assign the Libertarian Party in joining this group that's opposing 142?
Be part of this public hearing, this week.
Yeah, we're past public statement.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, do this. Okay.
We'll do it.
So,
Membership, you have anything to add to your report? No?
I love libertarians.
Taxes are theft, I know. Communications?
Are you going in order?
He's going in
Oh, yeah.
and order.
You're going in order, but not in
There's just a
order.
lot of people missing here.
Okay. I don't have, well, I'm trying to think now because I wasn't prepared because I was going in order. You just totally messed up my OCD. I don't think I have anything in particular to add to the report, except for website-wise. I could have added this in fundraising. We were alerted today that the donor page broke, and Jay's working on fixing it.
That's it.
Everything's in my report. It's long.
And I was perfectly in order with the exception of my missing Richard, so go ahead, Richard. Do you have anything to add?
Which one?
Yeah, is he
Communications.
Regions or is he?
Or, I'm sorry, campaigns.
No, nothing to add on campaigns. I'm working on educating myself more about the poll watchers. The trick is each county is different. The more I dig into it, every single county is different. So what I'm kind of doing right now is, as people are showing interest, I'm encouraging them to get in touch with their county clerk and then get back to me if they need something in particular. The way the process works is Jay will have to appoint them, or we as a board appoint them. Once they check with their county clerk, if they come back to me and they say that is something they're still interested in, then we'll move forward from there. So that's all I really got that I didn't really state in my report. Frank, did you have a question for me?
Yes. As a statewide candidate, I can also be a election watcher affidavit signer, and would be eager to help you on that.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
I have a question. Was there any reaction from, is it Mr. Moore?
That's I mean, so for those of you that didn't notice or haven't paid attention,
Nick Morse.
Yeah, Nick Morse decided that he wants to try to pretend to be a libertarian, and he's running against me for my office. And so he has added a disclaimer at the bottom of his webpage to say that he is the Republican nominee while still using the word libertarian all over the place. So I would encourage everybody to bomb the crap out of his Facebook page, kind of blow it up. If he wants to be a libertarian, let's push an actual libertarian, not a Republican.
He actually paid Google. If you Google Nick Morse Libertarian, it takes you directly to his webpage.
So that everybody's aware, that's kind of my personal struggle. Technically, he's not breaking any laws, just kind of customs. And it's like the Republican were claiming they were a Democrat in election. Everybody should be scratching their head. But because we are growing exponentially this year, he's going to confuse a lot of people, and it's going to take dedicated libertarians to kind of fight his message a little bit. So please be aware of that. That's the only weird thing in campaigns that I've heard about going on.
We did write a wonderfully snarky letter.
Yes, we did.
Invitations, this is yours.
Yeah, exactly. I'm flattered. Why
We
thank
even tried to draw the Republicans out and posted a copy of Jay's letter on the Republican Liberty Caucus group page, and nobody's yet to respond.
So that's it, unless anybody has any more questions for me.
Well, I posted a copy on his page in response to another one.
Then he probably banned you right afterwards. Because he's.
I'm already banned. I'm banned.
I had no idea. I tried to post it right on his Facebook page and I couldn't. So
It was moderated.
I had to respond to somebody else's post. And I was able to put it up that way, but frankly, I lost interest after that. I didn't follow it any further. But, okay. Mike, do you have anything to add to your report?
Do you have a report?
I do. Go look in the file.
I looked on the day it was supposed to be in there.
Well, Jay put up a report for me, and so there's 2 records reports in there. I wasn't in internet range on the day it was supposed to be there, or the day before. So some of these are for Maria, and she's not here, and she had me bring an easy up. Who's that for? For you, Michael?
Yes.
Okay. See me after.
Oh, we'll give the outreach supplies to Michael.
Okay. This is my report. Okay. So add an email votes to the minutes. Do we need, I mean, Karen has been advocating for this, but do we need some kind of official vote that all from now on email votes will be in the minutes because they're technically not in that board meeting. And, you know, sometimes it's stuff carried over from the
I
last board
believe
meeting,
it's
so
in
it
our
should go to the last
standing
one.
rules.
Well, that would be interesting.
Let me,
I didn't see that. Well, while Karen's accessing that,
I believe we have standing
I
rules.
think we could do a separate document, make it easier. But anyway, so yeah, let's figure that out. Do we have a booth at the United We Stand Fest that Maria was talking about? It's free. It's a big Freedom Fest, thousands of people. Oh, Karen.
Voting shall be open for 3 full days, blah, 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 and the vote recorded for inclusion in the minutes of the next meeting.
So it should go, like the stuff we did last month,
Should be
go
in
in this one.
Right, and the one before that should have been.
That's a valid issue. Okay, so booth at the United We Stand Fest, anybody know about that? I know it's Maria. You do?
This is the first I've heard of it.
Okay, well, she was talking about it. All right.
That's October 25th, right?
I think so, yeah.
And it's going to include perhaps minor candidate presidential debates.
This is Christine
Tobin.
Okay, yeah, that's the one.
Thank you, Frank. Next time you ask to be recognized, please.
But, okay, so that sounds like something I should take up with Maria.
Okay, yeah.
That's free.
I haven't heard anything about that, Mike, so if you want to extend a question out to her, I think that'd be good.
Okay. The Secretary of State added a new thing where you can use text to register to vote. You text us something to a number and bam, you can register to vote right there on your phone.
Where can I find out about that?
It's on their website. I can send it out. But, I mean, we could use this at our booths, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, you see I'm grinning.
Yeah, okay. That's a good, okay.
Absolutely, a lot easier than trying to get a cell signal on a laptop.
Yeah, 560 signs went out already, Wayne, that's amazing.
We have one box left at the house right now, and we're probably gonna go out this week and put those on highway off-ramps. All the others have either been sold, the signs have been sold, or they've been distributed to, Mike has a box, Marie has a box. They've been, yeah, they're all over the place right now, so hopefully we can get some money back in. I have a couple $100 I was gonna give to John in my briefcase here, but obviously in his absence, I'll have to hang on to for a little while. But hopefully we can get enough money back in the coffers that we can order some more signs.
Well, if we remember that some of these were paid for by somebody else, and his desire was that some of these would end up on the interstate exits, which is why we're gonna go do that with the box we had to honor the donor's request.
That's technically illegal.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And then finally, El Paso is having some issues, and they asked me to change organizers on the meetup and stuff like that, so just a heads up to, I guess that would be to the regions.
Who's running it now? I thought Mike was.
Seebeck and Mike McRedmond.
That's what I thought. So I got it fixed on Facebook and on the county contact page. So just on the meetup.
And I fixed it on meetups because they had problems with former members still modifying meetups.
Question on meetup, the welcome letter thing, you were gonna modify it to add an invitation to join the national party?
And that was possible, I think so, but I mean, it's easy to do. I'll go look and see if I get it. I'll check all of that.
Would you follow up on that for us, please?
All right.
We got knocked down a slot, we're now number 12.
And only a couple spaces, a couple registrations.
Is there anything else you need to add, Mike?
That's it.
Okay, non-C report, Attorney, you have 2 minutes.
Well, I don't really think I have much to add to that, except for just this past couple of days. I don't know if anyone here has been following what goes on in ballot access in other states, but the state of Arizona, which is in our region, has gotten completely screwed by the court there, where it's almost become functionally impossible in some counties to ever even get a Libertarian past the primaries. So we now have an ongoing ballot to try to commit some legal funds to assist Arizona. Region 1 generally does not have ballot access issues, but now Arizona is starting to have that. So we're trying to get them some funds. And We've been pushing for an electronic LNC meeting the end of this month and to discuss budget issues and committee transparency and the like. I would encourage anyone who's really interested in what I'm doing more than can be done in the 2 minutes of the board meeting is I have an LNC Region 1 discussion group on Facebook, and I post all the goings on there. I post why I voted, what I voted, and solicit member input as to how I should vote. So I would encourage that.
Okay, thank you. City committee reports. You have anything for us, Clayton?
Yeah.
Okay. State convention committee.
Alan's not here. It was my understanding Alan would be here.
He's online.
I can say there's nothing new with that.
Can
Wilson.
well, I'd like to say something.
Do you want to yell at people? 'Cause
I do. I would like to
pass-
yell at
I can
people.
pass through the yelling.
Okay, please do.
Okay.
I was mentioning that in the ride down here. We're 5 months out. That's not a long time. So, yeah, end of March. We're at almost, well, 6 months out.
So I'll say 5 from the yelling.
Yeah, you could say 5 p.m. I'd like to know like what we're starting to look at budget-wise, because we have some motions coming up this meeting for allocation of monies. I'm of the mind that when we plan for convention, we should have enough money in our budget to pay for it as if we've never sold a ticket, so that we always plan for the worst-case scenario, because we were sweating it last year, and I do not want to be in that position again. So I was kind of hoping to have a budget from the committee this time, because I'll be really reluctant to pass any motions for money, because we have this convention we have to do.
Okay. Special committee reports. Are there any?
Well, there's platform committee and bylaws and constitution and bylaws committee.
Go ahead. Platform committee.
So the platform committee just had a meeting last week. I think we're coming along very well. I anticipate that we're going to be done by November and have our report submitted well ahead of time by December. Of course, you never know. Next meeting, everything could blow up, but everything so far has been going, I think, very well.
Richard?
Constitution and bylaws will be meeting Saturday electronically. We're coming along. It'll be our 3rd meeting. During that meeting, Jay has asked me, I've informed Jay that I want to step down as the chair, and he has asked me to hold vote to get a feeling from the other committee members as to if somebody would like to volunteer for that role. That way he can simply appoint them, rather than him just picking somebody and volunteering somebody. So it's just a time commitment between right now, 1.5 to 2 board positions, running for office, just moved into a new house. I work 55 hours a week. It's just reaching the point where there's no family time for me, and I don't have the time to put into the committee that it deserves to have. And so I'm voluntarily going to be stepping down from that role. So, but that will be after the next meeting, and Jay will hopefully have somebody appointed between the 17th and our next meeting here. So,
I'd like to move to suspend the rules to allow me to go back 1 second to my communications report and something I forgot to mention.
Any objections? Okay, go ahead.
I want to remind everyone that I have the social media training on the 17th. I would suggest if you're a campaigner at all tangentially interested in how to build a good libertarian Facebook page, that you attend it. I got a lot of knowledge initially from Nathan, and then working through the national social media team, and then helping a lot of other affiliates grow their page. And I want to pass this along. So I will be sending out a reminder email on that training for Saturday. This coming up, the 17th.
Okay, thank you. General orders, amended petition for charter.
Okay. I have, well, let me give you some background on what this is about. When a county development group is ready to move to affiliation, they have to petition the state party to be a county affiliate. Amy had produced a handbook that had a copy of the petition in it, And in it, the prospective affiliate had to agree to all kinds of things that are not required by our bylaws. Douglas County is getting ready to move towards affiliation, and as one of the members that will be asking for this petition, I think the current petition for charter is objectionable. I do not think we have bylaws rights to require this of the county affiliates. Some things that are included in there are such as obeying the national party bylaws. County affiliates don't have any obligation to that. In fact, our state party doesn't have any obligation to that other than ratifying the statement of principles. Our bylaws only require that our county affiliates ratify the statement of principles and agree to abide by the Colorado Fair Campaign Practices Act. So I think that's all that can be required in the petition for charter. In fact, as part of my research, I asked the national party, what do we require of states when they're affiliating with national? And even our national party only has two requirements. You certify that you oppose the initiation of force to achieve political or social goals, and ratify the statement of principles. So I have a revised petition for charter that I'd like the board to adopt that only requires the affiliates to affirm the statement of principles, disavow the initiation of force, promise to uphold the Constitution and bylaws of the Libertarian Party of Colorado and the Colorado Fair Campaign Practices Act, and any other such laws that may incur liability on the part of the Libertarian Party of Colorado. To me, that's reasonable. So I would like to, I have copies of the amended petition for charter that I would like us to adopt.
Isn't asking that they initiate force and that they approve the principle, aren't those the same thing?
Not necessarily. Our bylaws and Constitution treat them separately. I think it's somewhat redundant. I think the NAP is in the statement of principles, but for instance, us as board members have to affirm both of them, and the national party requires the state affiliates to affirm both of them.
Matt, go ahead.
Point of information from the public chair. Matt here has informed me that he has some information from Marie that he needs to share with the board regarding minutes or.
It's regarding funds for seeking for outreach. My apologies.
So.
Okay, well, I move that we suspend the rules just a moment.
We had that added to new business, so we can take it up at that time.
Oh, it's already been added?
Yeah, at the beginning of the meeting, I knew Marie wanted those addressed, so I added it to new business.
That's right.
And don't worry about the readings director. We'll discuss it.
All right.
Point of information.
Yes, Dave.
The website has a link to the development group manual, and if this old form is in that, then that needs to be updated.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy. I've got the original document and I can convert it to Word, so I can do that like that. It's not hard.
So do we have an official motion from Karen?
Well, now that it's passed out, I'd like to move that we adopt this as our new petition for charter for development groups moving into county affiliation.
Any objections? Okay. Passes it.
I'll send you a copy of it.
Yeah,
To the,
in a Word document.
yes.
Great.
All right, new business.
Point of information.
Okay.
Did we vote to approve the minutes from last month?
We did not.
That was skipped on the agenda.
Who the heck running this?
Do we want to?
Yes, there's two things we need to back up on, so I move that we suspend the rules for a moment. We have to agree to the minutes from last month. Any objections from anybody there?
I do have some corrections to the minutes as usual. Mike would be very disappointed.
Sounds like no
Objections there. Objection.
Yeah.
Yeah, no objection to that. I'd like to move right on to.
Go ahead.
Do you want to send those to me? And as long as they're minor, are they minor or does?
They're minor.
Okay, then if you send them to me, I'll make the corrections. Or you want to read them now?
Well,
I'll tell you one correction that I noticed, but we'll see if you caught it.
oh, I probably didn't, because I obsess on the strangest things. Just name-wise, because there's two Harloses that we need to keep.
Oh, you did mention.
Yeah, Wayne and I separate, and also I prefer Karen and Harlos to just Karen.
So I have to type more because you
yes,
want to
you
be
do.
like a country music star now?
Exactly. And I think that, and the email motions, that was all I had.
Okay, I have a motion to suspend the rules to revisit minutes for.
No,
Which
we
we
raised
we
it.
skipped them, and
Okay.
we've addressed everything here, so.
The only other thing missing was I forgot my name in the list of the Wow.
So is this for?
Actually, yeah, that's all.
Okay, so I'm guessing everything is passed here, so.
This passed without objection. Approved.
Without objection. Okay. And one more, forgive me for missing this. Richard, you have a Regents report for us. Is there anything you want to add?
So it looks like Larimer County, we lost the affiliate about 6 months ago. They voluntarily deregistered with the SOS, and now I've been told by the county contact there that he was supposed to be holding it temporarily until Christian came back, who was taking an internship over the summer. Christian is not coming back, and so Ford, who's been running it for the last couple of months, says that he will not run it. He said that it was an active group, though, so I asked him, hey, is there anybody that's willing to take it, anything like that? He said he couldn't find anybody. I posted some things on Facebook through their actual development group page, trying to find somebody. Nobody has messaged me, so it looks like for the first time in 9 months, I've lost it in the county and don't have a replacement contact, so sad face there. The other thing is Jay and I did meet with George, who briefly introduced himself. He is interested in running for the Regions Director position. I personally have no objections. He is registered Libertarian. I know Steve's also interested, so what I would suggest is when we go into doing this, we take nominations and we allow them both to speak and ask them questions and fill them out as a board before we vote. And if one of them would also be interested in the fundraiser position, we could have them run against Matt as well, since we have so much interest. I just want to make sure that we're selecting the best people and that the board's comfortable with everybody. So, yeah. George? Yeah, spell Jorge. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Can I add just something? That was in your report, but just wanted to let everyone know the progress of Douglas County trying to move to affiliation is our first organizational meeting will be this October, where we've got 4 people interested in being officers. The first review of proposed bylaws will take place later that month in October. We're going to have the second organizational meeting to approve bylaws, elect officers, and hopefully November meeting will be presenting a petition for affiliation if everything goes properly.
Exactly, and to add to that, thank you for reminding me, with me living in Weld, Marie in Weld, Matt's also in Weld, we are trying to make Weld a model for the state, so good luck, guys, try to keep up. But we're going to
try to keep up.
we're going to be getting together later this month and trying to fast track that as quickly as possible with 2 board members and a very dedicated person in the party. That shouldn't be difficult, but we've got to get those initial meetings established and get that going. So once we get that going, hopefully within the next year tops, we'll have Douglas County and Weld County both as affiliates.
He's doing our bylaws too.
I can see it happening right now. Okay. So right now we have Steve and George here for the Regions Director position. Why don't we take just a moment? Steve, why don't you start us off? Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to step into this position.
Let me suggest it would be okay if George start first.
Would you prefer? That's fine by me. You okay with that, George?
Fine by me.
It's your turn. Yeah, and come on over here toward the middle of the room if you would, George.
There's a mic there. I just want everybody to be able to hear that.
So like I was introduced, this is George.
Shelby Jorge. My father is he immigrated from Nicaragua. He fled to St. Lucis, and he's originally Lebanese. So that's Jorge is my first name, and Zagayev is my last name. I guess if I really wanted one thing for kind of the takeaway for you tonight, I really want you to remember me as being someone who's very hungry to learn, hungry to succeed. I moved up from South Mississippi in 2010 without a job, or a job at Best Buy, temporary job. I love the state, and I love the views. I love the people. I love the politics. I like the mix. So I have a big appreciation for the state. How much time do I have?
You have 3 more minutes.
I registered as a Libertarian in 2014, January 3rd, I think. I started at Regis. I began my MBA program about 3 years ago. I emphasized in strategic management, corporate strategy, and I've excelled in my coursework. I'll graduate in December. I spent the last 4 years working in operations for the Oppenheimer Funds and working in the back office, where I've been self-taught SharePoint workflows that have led to a lot of process improvements in how the mutual funds are set up. I love moving pieces, and when I say hungry, I really am hungry to get better at grasping a lot of moving pieces. As somebody who's very much into strategy, I'm someone who I like to look ahead, and I like to see where things are going. I'm happy to say that as a bystander, as someone who's never come to a Libertarian board meeting before, that I see the future is very bright for the Libertarian Party. When I got the email, I think it was on a Lilly for Senate fundraiser email, that at the very bottom of it had opening for Regents Director. I had no idea what the Regents Director did. I knew how I felt about libertarianism and liberty, and so I just sent some feelers out. And within a day, Richard and Jay were nice enough to meet with me, and it was from that conversation that I took something that I thought I might enjoy to something that I think that I could be good at. And I think that to structure the party, to get the affiliates in such a way that it doesn't matter if I'm doing it or somebody else is doing it, but that the next person that comes in can take the structure that I might have until March to put together. That structure is going to be in place and sustainable in a way that the party can grow and have that bright future that I'm looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Okay, Steve, your turn.
Well, here's what I'm going to propose is that you're active in social media, right?
Yeah, I'm like,
You're on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook.
Okay. So I'm going to endorse George, but I'm going to harken back to something that Spalding will remember, which is that we wanted to have layers of support for the board members.
Yeah.
And I would love to work with you on that stuff. You know, I'm not up on social media as much, but I can liaison with different development groups or go to some of these meetings, because there's a lot of meetings to go to. So I would love if we had that sort of system where I could help you with that. And that's, that would be fine to me, because I don't be a board position, but I just would like to work in that area. So that's my dropping out and endorsing.
Okay.
Questions?
Any further comment?
Can we ask questions?
You bet.
Okay. Steve, I know you're dropping out. What Colorado region are you in? Do you know?
I'm in Jeffco.
You're in Jeffco?
Yeah.
So you'd be in the Metro region. So Metro is the only region right now that actually has a county contact in every single group. So what we talked about at our meeting was creating a almost corporate structure where the region's director's on top, then we have regional contacts as well, and then the county contacts underneath that to help keep it organized. 64 counties is a lot. I think that this is an outstanding opportunity if the board agrees to go ahead and let that happen, and I 100% endorse this whole thing right here. So that's that. Thank you for answering the question. Then for George, the question I have, do you feel, because you don't have the experience with talking with the groups and that sort of thing, do you feel that you have the time as you finish your master's program to go ahead and do the commitment to this and kind of network that and grow the regions to the next level?
And I have 10 weeks of class. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I have all the time in the world, but I do have time that I can dedicate to make the calls, being 15 to 20 hours a week. I don't see it as giving it away for free. I do see it as a contribution to the party. But with that said, I think it's a great contribution and it's a great opportunity that I have to give that time to the party.
Just real quick, once you've graduated, are you intending to stay at your current position, or will you be looking for an external position here in Colorado, or even be up into nationwide positions?
I will be looking for another position within Colorado. So specifically, probably, I don't intend to move from the house that my wife and I bought in 2013. So I don't have any children, but my dog is very happy there, and I am too. So I have no intentions of leaving Colorado. I can't say ever, but at least 10 years, 5 years easy.
I have several questions. Are you a member of the National Party?
I know.
I'll get information on that. But this segues into something. I don't know. Are you familiar with the platform of the National Party, particularly the statement of principles of the National Party? And I asked for a specific reason. All board members are required to sign off that they affirm and support the statement of principles of the National Party as well as the NAP pledge. And would you be okay with both of those?
I have read it. When you say familiar, I don't know that I would say I'm familiar, or if it's familiar as I might be more, maybe twice that I've looked at it. Nothing that I saw I'd be opposed to signing. So I would like to have it in front of me. If I did, I would admit it now. I know as the liaison with the National Party, I'm sure you can get that information to me, Sharon, but I stand for liberty and I stand for the values of the Libertarian Party. Whenever I asked Jay, said something about what is it that the party does? It's not as much of a statement as I would like to see it as what the party does and pointing to the principles. I went back and I looked at the principles. I didn't see anything in there that I disagreed with. I really align myself with liberty first and then the Libertarian Party.
If I may add, so we spoke casually at our meeting, Jay and I, with George, and if you guys knew me around a year ago, that's about where he is right now, as far as the path to what eventually we all become as time goes on. So
he's not burned out yet?
He's not burned out yet, and he does identify with liberty, and I think he's a very strong minarchist in our group, and as he were to be involved and learn more about the issues and think about some things and address issues with counties, I think the statement of principles, the feeling that I got from it, no issues whatsoever. It's just how deep down the rabbit hole is he at this point, and he's about where I was about a year ago. So.
And just I don't know what kind of point this would be, point of order or whatever, I still need to get you to sign those documents.
Sure.
I'll send them to you. I neglected to do that before.
Okay. Well, without objection, I think we should take a roll call vote on George. Now, George, of course, this is contingent upon your signing the statement of principles.
And the NAP.
And the NAP.
Certainly.
Okay. Ken?
We need to do a roll call, or can we see if it passes without?
Well, we can see if there's no objections. If there's no objections, okay. Passes as unanimous. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome, George. Okay, next we have Matthew. Matthew, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be put in the position of the fundraising director. You already alluded to that a little bit before, but expand on it for us if you would.
I'm Matthew Gianardo, and I am one of the proud 1%ers. No, I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm saying I'll be part of the 1% that voted for Gary Johnson's twice. I am very, very proud to be a member of the party. I believe I changed my registration shortly after the 2012 election. I'm a dues-paying monthly member of the National. I'm interested in fundraising because, as I alluded to, it's what drives everything. It's what it allows you to put your message in front of other people. And I also understand that there are a lot of legal ramifications around it, and I would want to be incredibly diligent because I would never want to compromise our party or our candidates. I know it is very important to be on phones calling people for specific purposes, trying to raise money for our party, but I also think we need to look at it outside of the box. What can we do that raises money that isn't just a phone call saying, give us this? How do we engage people? How do we create events? How do we use the concept of fundraising to drive the idea of a libertarian community? I personally believe one of the most important things we can do is build a libertarian business coalition in this state. People with businesses are the ones that are most affected by tax laws, regulations, and oftentimes they also have in people's pockets. If we can get with these people and potentially get them and some people that work with them to join with us, we will have a very strong position in the Colorado business community, and that will help us raise money so that we can push legislation that is important to us and stand out against legislation that we oppose. I do firmly believe in the non-aggression principle. I believe in the statement of principles. There's nothing in this world that cannot get accomplished by people working together. We do not need anyone to put us in line to function for their own objectives. So that would be what I have to say about that.
Okay. Thank you, Matt. Does anybody have any questions of Matt right now? Okay, Richard?
So you mentioned the business coalition type idea, exactly what you were thinking there. So that'd be a great partnership if you get the position.
Yeah.
Specifically, though, do you have ideas for raising funds outside of that, reaching out to our general membership and you have experience doing something like that?
The basic experience I have, and it's never good looking cockeyed when you say this, but I have, my background is entirely in the golf industry, and oftentimes what drives outside businesses is the ability to create tournaments, to create leagues, which involves reaching out to businesses. Tournaments are all about charitable outreach more often than not. I'm proud to have taken part in what is called the Santa Cops tournament in the Frederick area, where we work to raise funds via this golf tournament so that the policemen in the area can distribute presents to underprivileged kids. At Christmas time, we have probably raised over $10,000 the last 3 years doing that in a pretty small area. And a lot of the time, it just takes the guts to go out and knocking on doors. And the idea behind it is that we need to get the concept of how do we have consistent engagement of interesting things. I believe we need to start developing some sort of a monthly get together with fun and, you know, things that people, you know, you got maybe music, food and stuff, but it's incorporated into a ticket price. And then we can engage with people, raise money. You have a chance for candidates to talk with people during election years, because I find that politics is too often something that is done in 2-year cycles and oftentimes 4-year cycles, and everybody forgets about it in between. And if we can constantly be in people's ear over the next couple of years with things that will help us raise money, we will have one hell of a war chest in 2018, and we might get some libertarians.
I like everything that you're saying. But my question is, it's a lot of work for one guy. Do you have a plan in place on how to get help?
That is something that I believe through getting involved, I'm going to develop more contacts. I think that's something by being more involved, I'll be able to touch base and get people involved. And I do agree that it's something this big cannot be done by one person. You have to get a lot of people working with you. So my first goal with this would be to familiarize myself as much as I can with any necessary legalities, because that is paramount. Secondary upon that would be to get a committee going as quickly as possible, because you got to hit the ground running. There's no point in being idle. It's hard enough as it is starting this right up to the butt end of an election. So that's a big hurdle as it is in itself. There's no excuse that thinking it's going to die right after November that this can't get going. So I want to set us up in a position where first of the year we're still ready to keep going and we're getting money consistently rolling in, and I have competent people beneath me that are believe in the same goals and aspirations for what we can do with outline concept and fundraising.
I will gladly find people to help on that cause.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions of Matt?
Matt, I know you're kind of you're the point person for the Weld County group. Do you believe that you can both kind of run the Weld County group as well as hold a board position?
I can definitely handle contact with Weld County. The one thing that, aside from this, is I've been working on with the county is trying to get her door in with the college. We're got no response whatsoever so far. But I would like to get help with the social media. I drive that page because that is something I'm certainly lacking on. At 17, 6 o'clock. And but
you also have myself and Marie.
Absolutely. And yeah, we have a good group up there, and I do think I'll be able to handle that. What I have at my disposal is, with my job is, especially what I'm getting to now, I'm kind of set my own hours. I can bounce in and out of what I do and get back home and such. So it might not be one of those things where you see Matt working for 8 hours straight on something, but where I work an hour here, before you know, at the end of the week, there's 20, 25 hours, just sporadically touching base on all these things. I don't want to lose base with anything that I'm doing with Weld County, because with the college there, with the Liberty movement going strong, we could really, really do something special in that county away from the normal Republican stronghold, and that really excites me thinking about that, because I love Ken Buck.
Okay. Karen?
I just wanted to say something in Matt's favor. He's one of my social media volunteers on the state page. And a lot of people don't know that, but the things he does is the complete, not that there's much glory in the Libertarian Party to begin with, but what he does is completely behind the scenes, like taking care of some of the back workings. It has absolutely no glory involved with it, and he's been absolutely faithful at that job.
Thank you. Dynamite. Thank you, Matt. I think we should bring this to a vote. We have any
Do we have
objections at
somebody
this
else
point?
running for fundraiser?
I just washed my hands.
That I'm aware of. Okay, so without objections, no? Are there any objections? All right,
Are you willing to spend the next several weeks falling asleep reading the SOS guidelines on
No,
fundraising?
don't read all. Just talk to him.
Give me all the fun
Matt,
stuff.
Matt, not until he gets signed yet.
Yeah.
Then drop the bomb. What else do we have?
I just wanted to let the two new board members know I will get with Jay to get you set up with board emails. And that will get you onboarded.
If you guys get with Clayton,
Okay, come talk to me and I'll set you up.
Okay, yeah, Clayton will do it then.
And what about nation building?
Jay will we'll work on Nation Builder
Nation
separately.
Builder, you guys both should, you both should have something in your Google Docs drive. If you're not familiar with Google Drive, you need to get there. And there should be a password document inside of each board member's profile that has a list of passwords. So for Nation Builder training, we'll have to get with Jay, Nation Builder Access. If for some reason you're already familiar with it through whatever other means you've been through, you should be able to find that document and have access right away.
Most likely fundraising probably does not have one, because if the previous director didn't set that up, there would be no password.
So somebody will work with you guys on that.
Yeah, Jay will, somebody will.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just heavy.
Next thing we have is the sports event that Marie was heading up. Karen, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Marie's online if she could speak to it. I don't have information really. I mean, everyone got the same email
I
I
don't
did.
think she's able to, she's listening in, or she was,
She got invited, so
She got in.
she's on it. So as long as you have a mic, Marie, you should be able to speak, as long as you unmute yourself.
Yeah, no, I got it now. I just, I was having trouble with my laptop, so I was watching on YouTube. I can barely hear you guys, so just don't ask me any questions. Okay, so the 420 games, it's a series of games. They've got skateboarding events. They're going to have beer tasting afterwards, the live concert, things like that. They're expecting about 1,000 participants. The regular cost on that is $2,500 per event. They're willing to give it to us for $500. I think it's a great opportunity on both cases, especially the Boulder, where we can make some connections there and hopefully get a CU chapter up and running.
Marie, can you tell us how many people we would be exposed to if we were to step up and do this?
They estimate about 10,000.
But this is the first time for this event?
No, this is their third year going.
Is it in Boulder County?
Probably didn't hear you, Mike's still here.
Yeah, I can't hear you if you're asking a question. It's very faint.
There's 2 events. One of them is in Denver. One of them is in Boulder. The Denver one's the 24th of September, which is the same weekend as Chili Fest, and the other one's October 1st in Boulder.
Should it be 8 to 20?
My question being, does the Boulder affiliate have any funds for outreach?
Yeah, this.
I can say that that's a negative.
Okay.
For sure.
Are you still on the board, Nathan, up in
I
Boulder?
received board emails, but I'm not on the board. I know that they don't have more than a couple $100 sitting in a savings account. They have their lunch, which they could pass an ad around and probably raise a couple $100 on it, but I think that for the most part, their board wouldn't be super keen on an event like this, just because of the demographic.
Information, Boulder can definitely help on a committee surrounding the games. And
I didn't hear you, Matt. Sorry.
my point of information is that Boulder would likely help on a committee surrounding the involvement with us in the games.
Okay, Karen?
I have multiple comments on this. We have to decide tonight, apparently. So that's one issue. It's $1,000 for the 2 of them plus insurance. This ties into what I brought up earlier with not knowing what the convention is going to cost us. I'm not inclined to vote for anything of that much money without knowing what's going on with our convention. But maybe perhaps one of them. I know Marie favors doing Boulder over Denver. I actually have the opposite opinion. I think when we have an active affiliate in an area, it's really up to them to spearhead these things. We have no idea how Boulder feels about this. I don't think as a state party, it's particularly appropriate for us to plan events without coordinating it with the affiliate. I don't think it's respectful to the affiliate. They might not care for this. I also know that Boulder has an entirely different perspective on outreach than we do, that they don't care for the world's smallest political quiz and things such as that. I would not be in favor of the state party paying for a booth where we wouldn't engage in the type of outreach that we normally do. So those are just some general comments. I'm inclined to approve one of them. I'm not inclined to vote for $1,000 plus insurance.
Anybody else?
I'd like to add that we should not be holding up outreach on the potential of what we do or do not know about convention at this point. Outreach at this juncture, given the time related to election, is very important to us.
Richard, go ahead.
I just want to address one of the comments that Karen Ann made, where she said that because they have an affiliate, it would be rude to them for us to do an outreach event there, basically. Is that a good summary?
Well, without talking to them first and trying to coordinate it with them, just busting on in and saying, we decided that this evening.
My thought on that is that that's not accurate. If we are truly going to be a party that grows, we are going to eventually, as a state board, decide to do events, whether there's an affiliate group, a development group, it doesn't matter. We choose to do our own events, and the affiliate can help us, not help us, help fund it, can coordinate with us if they choose. All of those are options. But if we as a state board decide this is a worthy outreach event, it shouldn't stop us whether or not the local affiliate wants to be involved or not. We're representing the Libertarian Party of Colorado. In this case, that's the Libertarian Party of Boulder deciding whether or not they want to participate.
Point of information.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
heard an overall summary, I think, of attendance or anticipated attendance. Was that for both events total in Boulder and Denver, or for just one of the two? I don't recall.
Marie, can you clarify that? Is it 10,000 people per event, or is that total with both events combined?
That was total.
That was total. Just follow up to that. Did they have any information specifically regarding Denver attendance?
No, they didn't.
Marie, I don't know if you heard.
didn't. Okay.
Mike?
Does Denver have an affiliate?
No. It does have a county contact. Daryl Davis is the county contact.
Karen?
I wanted to supplement and respond to some of the things that I had said last year. I don't remember the event it was, but we were planning something and we ended up ruffling the feathers of a county affiliate. I think it was El Paso at the time. It's not that I don't think we can do events where there's an affiliate, but not even telling them before we pass it, I just do not think is showing due respect to our affiliates. Further, these events allow a speaker. We're paying for this, but we're in the Boulder affiliate. Shouldn't it be a representative from the Boulder affiliate that gets to speak? I'm not inclined to approve an event unless I know who the speaker is going to be and what they're going to say. But if we're going to have it as the state thing, I just see a big potential for some sour grapes with the affiliate, and I'd like to avoid that. To address about the convention. Yes, we need to be spending money on outreach at this time of year, but we have spent a phenomenal amount on outreach already. Marie has busted tail. We've done so well with outreach this year. But to me, when you have expenses that you're looking to incur new ones, you have to take into consideration the ones you already have on the book and make sure that you can cover those. Convention is something we've already set a date for. We need to make sure that we have what we already have committed to covered before we take on additional events, no matter what the time of year. We have to conduct the business of the party.
Mike, you got something?
I just want to agree with Karen. I think if there's an affiliate in that county, we need to collaborate with them and bring this to them, and they need to be the ones pretty much spearheading that effort in the county with support from the state party. Denver County would be where they don't have an affiliate. That would be like Pueblo County, where the state basically runs that for the development groups. So I would just concur in that effort that we really need to throw the one in Boulder to Boulder County and see if that's something that they really want to participate in.
Problem is tonight's the deadline, so we kind of dropped the ball with not getting this to Boulder ahead of time.
Go ahead.
So again, though, I don't feel, I completely disagree. I think that if the state wants to participate in something, the state can participate in it and invite the counties to do it with them. And we're two anonymous groups. And if we, autonomous rather, not anonymous, sorry. We're two autonomous groups. And if we want to do something, we should be allowed to do it. And I understand we don't want to offend the affiliate, but we simply just say to the affiliate, you don't have to participate. We're not requiring you to staff it. We're not requiring you to do any funds. We as a state party would feel that this is a worthwhile thing if we decide to pass it, if we get to that point. We feel that it's a worthwhile thing and we're going to do it, whether you agree or not. We're also about state numbers, state fundraisers, state newsletters, we're not the local groups and we can't be afraid of stepping on those toes. And it is not our job to support to host outreach events in the development groups either. The development group leaders can do that. The development group leaders have and will, again, I'm sure in the future, ask for funds from the state board so that they can do their own events. They don't need the state board to say what is a good event or not a good event. So if we're going to have that attitude where we have to go into development groups and help prop them up, then we should have that same respect for the affiliate groups to help them continue to grow. grow. If we don't want to help the affiliate groups grow and do these outreach events without their go-ahead on it, then we shouldn't do the same thing with development groups. Our policy should be the same for both.
Matt, you had something else?
Okay, just one more clarification, and that is we can selectively choose which event, either Boulder or Denver, to participate in. Is that correct?
Yes.
At this point, I would like to suspend the rules to call a motion on voting to involve the Libertarian Party of Colorado directly in the Denver event, but not Boulder.
Any objections to that?
I object.
I object. Well, I think I do as well. Bring it to a vote.
It's roll call.
Take a roll call vote. Start with you, Matt.
Aye.
I knew that. Just okay. Yeah, I'm no on that one. John, are you able to hear us to vote?
Yes, I hear you. Could you repeat the motion?
What's your vote?
Repeat the motion.
The motion is to fund only the Denver event.
I vote no. I vote no.
No? Okay.
No.
No. Well, we do have a fundraising director right now. Would they be able to vote now?
Yes.
Okay.
I vote yes.
Okay. Campaigns?
No.
Outreach?
Okay, so I couldn't hear very well. Can you clarify what the motion was?
To fund only the Denver event.
Okay, so did the initial motion for both events fail to get a second, or did it not even get motioned?
That has not been motioned.
Okay, because the original motion was going to be to do both events.
The original motion was never proposed. The only motion on the table right now is for Denver only.
Okay. I vote no.
Okay. Regions? No. Sorry?
No.
No. Mike, legislative?
Yes.
Okay. Membership?
No.
Communications?
Yes.
Records?
No.
Okay, that fails.
But we are still not funding any of them because that was just the fund one.
Right.
Great.
Now, somebody could make a motion to fund the other.
I move to fund both events.
I second.
Any objections?
Yes. At this point, last month, that hasn't come out of our account yet. We authorized like $1,000 for that email harvesting that Jay wants to do. This isn't for $1,000. This is for $1,000 plus insurance. We're probably looking at $1,300 to $1,400.
I'll cover insurance.
Okay, so we're looking at $1,000. That to me is still an awful lot of money to come out of our treasury. To be planning a bit ahead, Marie's going to be asking for $300 extra for outreach supplies. There are some potentially other outreach things we're going to want to do. We've had tremendous success with these sign waving events, which are free. I just think we need to be a little cautious. 10,000 people is not that many people for $1,000.
No, but it also includes banners and social media mention. Just the speaker at the beginning. speaker at the beginning. It's a bigger presence than we would normally have from an event.
The speaker at the beginning still to a limited number of people. I just think it's an awful lot. I'm comfortable funding one, and if we wanted to do Boulder, I would actually vote for that, even though I oppose before. But funding both of them, I just think it's an awful financial stretch for an event that's unproven to us.
Point of information.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Denver, did I hear that Denver is the same date as the Chili Festival?
Yes.
Do we have the capability of splitting our outreach resources?
We've already decided, oh, you mean if we do both?
Right.
Yeah, we'll have enough.
My concern parallels Karen's concern. $500 expense for one event that's going to expose us only to 5,000 people doesn't seem to me as though it's a good return on our investment. Now, Marie indicated that there was going to be some other exposure that was going to happen just because of our presence, but I still don't find that that's a good return on investment. You know, we did most fair. We were exposed to 140,000 people. You know, for I don't even remember what it was, maybe like 205. Yeah. I mean, I think that this is just, it's not a good choice on how to spend our money right now.
Well, looking at other events that are going on in the areas, if you're looking for with a lot of people, you're going to be spending a lot more than $500 an event.
I would like to move that we fund the Boulder event only.
Wait, we still have a motion.
No, do we for both
We're
of
going to
them?
amend the motion.
So, yeah, can I speak in favor of this?
Go ahead, please.
So, guys, we have to keep in mind all of these extras, the extra speakers, the exposure on the banners, exposure on the website, all of that is pluses for us and things that we haven't had before. So that's something very much to consider. We also need to think about that this crowd, it is a 420 themed event. So if you're not hip to that, that's marijuana, pro-marijuana. And marijuana is right up the alley of a lot of libertarians. A lot of millennials have been brought to the Libertarian Party based on that one issue alone. And this event gives us exposure to them with our advertising, gets us a speaker up there, all of that, whereas it may be more expensive than, say, People's Fair or Pride Fest, that was for a very targeted, small group within that larger crowd that we might have even reached. Whereas this will give us the exposure to pretty much everybody that at least on one point resonates with us.
So we get.
I don't know if I can be recognized here, but I would just say if there's one time in our lifetimes to stretch the budget and go all out, it's between now and November 8th. So,
Well, yeah,
comment.
good point.
Yeah, and I wanted to add to that, because that was my third point that I forgot to say, is realistically between November, after the election, and January, maybe mid-February, there's not going to be a lot of potential outreach events. This is Colorado, we get cold, the road shut down, that sort of thing. So we will still have money to plan for the convention. And we have the fundraiser director in place who can help recoup some of those costs.
But typically after the election is over, fundraising and donations drop off dramatically. And we're looking typically for an off-year convention that costs about $5,000.
Yeah, I think some of us have our heads in the sand over this convention.
We have run conventions for $500. I don't know if
I would
anybody
rather
here
do
would
that.
approve it. I will approve it too.
Point of information, conventions on odd years or just following an election cycle as large as this typically run much less than they do on even years.
Point of inquiry?
Go ahead, Matt.
What are available funds?
About 6,000 right now.
About 6,000.
After taking out all the
I don't think that's taken out the $1,000 we approved last month for that email. fund.
There's 7,500 about, so it was taking that out.
Another.
So the proposal on the table would be to hit these two events and spend over 15% of the state party's budget on these two events. I would, on the edge of fiscal conservatism, I think you got to find points where you might be able to spend money to make money.
Okay, so what's on the table right now, and I move.
No.
Go ahead, Mike.
We still have it's a smaller number. There's still $260 out
legislative barbecue as well.
I have another point of information.
Okay.
Marie, what's the status of the T-shirts that we might be able to sell at these events?
He still has not gotten back with me. I've talked to him a bit. If we hear from him in the next couple days, we're gonna everything's used with the guy before, so we've never had any problems, but communication just cut off as of last week.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
No t-shirts.
Yeah, but I.
Communication with Dave Hooker. That's last week. He quit reading my emails. Texting that he gave me, but so that it's never picked up from his location.
So she said she's fallen the track and they haven't even picked up.
Right,
So they
and
probably
he's-
haven't made it yet.
And he's not responding.
So the T-shirts, we were going to use as a way to fund almost any outreach event that we stepped into. With the T-shirts, we had a way to recoup a significant amount of the expense. But if we don't have the T-shirts, we don't have them.
Matthew, this is a guess again, but we do have a current motion on the floor. You have to fund both events. I'd like to
Yes.
call the vote.
Second.
Okay. Any objections?
Okay, well, yeah.
And I'd like a roll call.
Fair enough. Start with you.
No.
No for me too. John, can you hear us to vote?
No.
Was that a no, John? You could text it to me.
No. No.
No.
Okay. Fundraising?
No.
Campaigns?
Yes.
Outreach?
Yes.
Yes.
Regions?
No.
Mike, legislative?
No.
Membership?
Yes.
Communications?
No.
Records?
Yes.
Okay, that fails.
Somebody want to move for just?
I would
a
like to
moment?
move to just fund the Boulder event.
Second.
Any objections? We'll do another roll call on that one. Go ahead, Matt.
Aye.
That would be a yes for me too. John?
No. No.
Is that a,
No.
no, okay. Fundraising?
No.
Campaigns?
Yes.
Outreach?
Yes.
Yes.
Regions?
Yes.
Legislative?
Yes.
Membership?
Yes.
Communications?
Abstain.
Records?
Yes.
That passes. So carried. So we will be at the Boulder event. I think it is incumbent upon us now to reach out to the Boulder affiliate and see if they want, in what capacity they want to participate with us, and who will take that job on.
I recommend the Regents Director, and I'll be there to support him if he needs it.
Okay. Okay, very good.
If you need any help with that, let me know. I've attended a couple of their meetings and built a little bit of a relationship with them.
Marie had another motion that she had asked that somebody bring, she had wanted, and I'll move for her since it's kind of broken up there. She would like to move to allocate up to $300 for purchase of additional outreach supplies.
Second.
Any objections? That passes. Did you have something to bring up? Okay, is there anything else?
I actually, I'd like to move to amend the agenda or suspend the rules, whatever we need to do. There's actually an item that should have been added. And that was we keep postponing and saying we're going to talk by email, and we haven't yet and now that we have a membership and fundraising, the mailing of the new Libertarians program that keeps getting punted from meeting to meeting to meeting.
Sounds like a fundraiser or a membership then.
I'll work with fundraisers gladly. That's.
Do we need to pass anything about that? Do we need to discuss it, or do you guys just want to see what you come up with?
Funds, but we don't know yet.
Right, I would suggest that membership and fundraising get together and put a proposal together for the board to pass. It can even be done by email if needed, but I think we need to start moving forward on this.
Yeah, I think that has to happen in pretty short order, that
Yes.
whoever's heading that up.
Sure.
So,
Point of inquiry, just, I don't know exactly what you are addressing, what this proposal is that we're trying to put together, just, is there any?
I don't know either.
In a nutshell,
You guys would be perfect for it.
in a nutshell, what it is these new registered libertarians through national, through SOS, that sort of thing. The idea of sending them out a welcome to the party type thing. Would you like to donate to us? These are your county contacts, et cetera, that sort of thing. So that's kind of what we're looking at. And so it was brought up 2 or 3 meetings ago now, that we were interested in it, and each board member was going to kind of come up with what they thought would be relevant to a packet like that. And then we were going to look at costs for mailing, all sorts of that sort of thing. So I think if you two can kind of work out maybe your thoughts on it and then come to a proposal, that'd be good.
So we still need to write content.
Yes, we don't have any content.
Well,
yet.
actually, Clint Jones might be able to help here. In fact, I spoke with Clint the other day. He came to our development group meeting last 2 weeks ago. And he said that he would be more than happy to speak with whoever is heading that up right now to convey the items that he did that worked and the items that he did that did not work. And also, so we don't have to recreate the wheel, he'll jump in and help. He'll help. He's willing to help.
Clayton's looking to be recognized.
Excuse me, Clayton, go ahead.
I mentioned a few meetings ago that I'd be interested in helping out with this. So if this gets started.
Well, fantastic. Okay, anything else? Matt?
Corinne mentioned that you wanted a motion, or Marie wanted a motion to bring something.
Oh,
So
that
is there
passed.
actual motion on this?
That passed, it was the $300.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was involving this further discussion.
No.
Sorry.
Anything else?
May I add one item?
You may, go ahead, Kim.
This is the no blank checks in the Constitution group opposing Initiative 143. And they are looking for individual or organizational support. So I would propose that we can add the Libertarian Party as opposition to this ballot initiative. And we have all the information on it. It's essentially a triple hike of tobacco taxes. And
Did the group talk about it, the committee?
Yes. I was going to, but I'll let him finish.
well, no, I'm sure you know more about it because I didn't know anything until it was presented this morning.
Yes, the board, the committee was unanimous in our opposition to the tobacco tax. And in fact, our agreement is being worked on and formulated, so it would fit perfectly into that.
Mike, would you like to partner with Ken on this?
I don't think there's a partnering necessary. I believe we need to just move that this group could add our endorsement to a position. You're asking for them to say that the Libertarian Party of Colorado also opposes this initiative?
Yeah, this says, yes, I would like to be listed as a supporter of the No on Initiative 143 campaign. And so we would put Libertarian Party.
Okay, we have a motion.
Are you moving?
I'm moving that we add Libertarian Party as an organization to be listed as a supporter of the No on Initiative 143.
Okay. Do you have any objection?
I object.
Okay.
Since we did have a committee that went through each one of the ballot initiatives one by one, and before our final opinions have even been formulated and brought back to the committee for a vote on. I think it's, until those opinions are formulated and put back to the committee for the final vote, I just think it's reckless of the board for us to start jumping on with these other issue committees in support until that's done. Because I mean, it really defeats the purpose of why we had a ballot initiative committee if the board's going to override anything that the committee does.
So 2 months.
I will withdraw the motion because I do agree with that position.
Okay, so your motion has been withdrawn?
Yes.
I have a question though. Do they have some kind of deadline on this? We could still support this after the committee's report.
Yeah,
There's no
we
deadline.
had set a deadline. Dave, do you remember what our deadline was to have that opinion completed? I believe it was by this Friday we were supposed to have it completed.
You might be right on
And I think this is something that could be addressed via email.
Yeah, I don't think this would be substantive enough to put it off to the next board meeting. So once we have the opinion, then we can go by email on it.
Yeah.
Sooner the better.
That's it for new business. This meeting's adjourned.
Well,
Good job, guys. That was early. Good stretch, smile.